Thanks to the support as a channel member, PP0476. Well, we've hit some rough form at just about the worst possible time of the season after getting knocked out of the Champions League and losing to Real Madrid yesterday. We now face the teams second and third in the La Liga table and what looked like a nice cruise towards a first title of the series. Now looks like it might be a little bit of a struggle if today doesn't go to plan. Hello, welcome to Club 4, part 16 of Not League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we are facing Villarreal and Valencia, both in La Liga. I usually say, since you were last with me, nothing has happened since you were last with me because we're coming straight off the back of the previous episode where we lost 3-0 to Real Madrid and 4-0 to Dortmund, getting us knocked out of the Champions League at the knockout round stage. We didn't even make it to the official knockout. It was the knockout playoff, so we didn't really make... You know what I mean? It was rubbish. We also only managed to draw against Real Betis in La Liga, and La Liga is now starting to look problematic. We are still at the top. We do still have 2 games in hand, but we play Villarreal, we play Valencia. We could be well back in third place by the end of this episode if this goes wrong. So it can't go wrong. This is the team for the first game against Villarreal. We're going with Simon in goal, a back four of Balde, Lazarov, Araujo and Koundé, Agostini at the base of the midfield, La Cruz and De Jong as a Mazzala ahead of him. I've actually done this a little bit recently. I know you might be thinking I've lost my mind, but we have done it a few times, as you can see, playing him as the Mazzala. And I mean, it's not been spectacular average rating wise, but he does offer that killer ball, that little bit of link up play further forward, and Agostini is a much stronger defensive player than De Jong is, so it gives us that little bit of extra protection for the back four without losing that passing ability of De Jong. And let's face it, you've seen the last couple of matches, we've got to try some different things, so we're trying a different thing. Zaballos is going to be on the left, Osmani's on the right, Sakuna's up front, and fingers crossed we can go and get 3 points. We are away from home, which is not ideal, but I mean, if we hadn't have experienced what happened yesterday, we would look at Villarreal and Valencia and think, yeah, that should be 2 comfortable wins. We should be well clear at the top of the table. Everybody's laughing, and maybe that's still what'll end up happening. I just want to put the league table on. Let me put the league table on. There we go. The league table is back on because we've just obviously played that Champions League game, and goodness me, a very early chance for Villarreal. I think they're offside anyway. Simon is there to make the save, which is, oh, thank goodness. We need a big performance from Dennis Simon today, and we need Sakuna back in form. We need Osmani back in form. They're the 2 best players in La Liga, average rating-wise, and Osmani is in here and plays it. I think he was trying to play it across to Sakuna, but it's come off the defender and ended up in the back of the net, and there's less than 4 minutes gone in this game, and that is exactly the little bit of fortune that we needed to turn us back around and get us back into some kind of form. Osmani started that move way back deep in our own half, played it to Zaballos. It's the world's fanciest 1-2. Zaballos plays him back in again, and he's in the area by the time he gets the ball back. And like I say, he's just trying to drive that across goal for Sakuna, but it takes the deflection, ends up in the back of the net. We're 1-0 up. And if we can beat, but I mean, I dare not really talk about it, but if we can beat Villarreal and Valencia and pick up 2 wins today and maintain the 2 games in hand, we'll say it quietly, but we're all but there, I think. We've talked about all the disasters that could happen if this goes wrong. If today goes right, we've pretty much got this wrapped up. Real Madrid are so far back that we would have to absolutely fall apart for them to catch us, and they've still got to play in the Champions League. We don't have any of those distractions. We are literally, La Liga is all we care about. We are still in the Copa del Rey. We've got the first leg of the semi-final between these 2 matches that are going to be in this video. I honestly don't care about that. And what a save from Simon. Goodness me. If he's going to turn in a performance today, the FIFA best goalkeeper in the world, then that's excellent. That's exactly what we need from him. And he is the best player on the pitch at the moment, rating-wise, and he has made a couple of very important saves already. But yeah, if we can pick up these 2 wins, we're pretty much there. We'll have played 25 games by the end of this episode. So what will that be? Another 13 games remaining. So we're not completely there. Obviously, there's still a long way to go at that point. But, you know, it could be a big gap, is what I'm saying. A big gap with a couple of games in hand as well. Things would have to absolutely fall apart to the point where I'd probably be fired if they fell apart to that extent. Balde playing it back to Agostini. Agostini now giving it to Kunde on the right side. He plays it into the path of Sakuna, who did get there ahead of the goalkeeper. But once again, he's just not getting that little bit of things going his way that he always seemed to be getting before. And this is why I've been playing Aspas so often lately, because Sakuna's just struggling a little bit. Osmani nods it down to Zaballos, who's there to tuck it away, but I think he's offside. I think Osmani, once again, is aiming for Sakuna there, but it eludes him, and Zaballos comes in off the left-hand side, but unfortunately comes in from an offside position, and it is disallowed. But Osmani definitely looks like he is causing all sorts of problems for this Villarreal left-back today, and both Sakuna and Zaballos, are both so offside there. It didn't really matter which one of them got to the ball. It was being disallowed either way. But it is now Villarreal on the attack. Lazarov is there to comfortably deal with it, lump it forward, and it's back with the Villarreal goalkeeper again, who fires it forward. Araujo nods it on to Kunde, La Cruz, and Agostini getting control of it in midfield. And now Osmani's got the chance to run with it again. He is absolutely terrorising this left-back, and Kunde's gone beyond him, plays it into the path of Sakuna. And their goalkeeper, I don't know what the goalkeeper's done there. We said we needed some good fortune today, and we've now had it twice. They've fixed goalkeepers in the winter update, boys and girls. And to be fair, I've never seen this goalkeeping howler before. It's such a nothing effort from Sakuna that the keeper just punches up in the air. And it falls free, and Sakuna, with his pace, is first to the rebound. And they are the two men that we needed to get back into some form today. It's a goal for Sakuna. It's constant terrorising of a fullback for Osmani. And if we get these two boys back in form and pick up 3 points today, that bodes very well. And that's exactly why Agostini is in the team, winning the ball back in a situation where De Jong wouldn't have done. And it's set up this counter-attack. I mean, or to be fair, cut off a counter-attack of theirs. And there is De Jong playing that little bit further forward. The whole decision is vindicated. Agostini starts the move by winning the ball back that De Jong never would have done. And De Jong playing a little bit further forward finds himself in a position to just use his incredible technical ability to stick it in the top corner from, I mean, he's got no right to score that goal in that way. It's a lovely finish. How can you be just on the edge of the 6-yard box and somehow still dunk it over the top of the goalkeeper like that and get it back down far enough to end up in the back of the net? It's a stunning finish from De Jong. We are 3-0 up away from home against what is theoretically our closest title rivals. Maybe we're going to be okay after all. Osmani trying to turn that left back inside out again. I mean, he deserves a goal or an assist or something, because he's only showing as a 6.9, and we've seen him really cause problems down that right-hand side today, but he's not really got anything to show for a lot of good work today. Balde now on our left, trying to get in behind the defence, and he does, just using his pace, trying to fire it across for Sakuna, and they cannot handle this pass at all. When we get in behind their fullbacks and just drill it back across goal, they do not know what to do, and I'm enjoying it very much. Right, let's take Zaballos off. Pedri can come on for him on that side, and we're going to take off Araujo for Brandenburger. We're going to take off Lazarov for Abad, and we'll just stick Kunde across in there, and we're just keeping everybody nice and fresh. We don't want anybody getting too tired. We don't want anybody carrying a yellow card for too long. I can see Kunde's actually on a yellow card, so probably should have taken him off rather than moving him to centre-back. But we just want to make sure that there's no balls-ups from here. That's the plan. Gavi, by the way, is out for the next month or so with the injury that he picked up in the Dortmund game, so that's why he's not involved today and won't be involved in any of the matches today. So we're having to get by without our captain, but we seem to have come up with a pretty decent response so far. Corner for Villarreal, and Simon is there again. He's had a very, very good game today. Just looks completely safe and secure in goal. And it's inspiring the rest of the team to go and do the awesome work that they've done further forward. We're now going to take off Osmani. Fatty can come on for him. Balde can come off as well, and Amaferi comes on for him. And again, we just keep things nice and fresh. This has been comfortable. Job done. Let's just keep this rolling against Valencia as well. And we're, like I say, all but there. La Cruz picks the ball up in midfield. Lovely ball over the top to Sakuna, who takes it down on his chest. And I think he's offside anyway, but couldn't quite. He's still not quite back where he was. I mean, he's had a good game today rating-wise, obviously picked up his goal, but he just hasn't looked as lethal as he did earlier in the season. But hopefully, with a decent overall performance and a goal, he's on his way back. And goodness me, couldn't happen soon enough. Right, let's go play this cup game, and then we'll be back for that Valencia match. And hopefully, a nice gap starting to appear at the top of the table. That would be lovely. Well, job done in the it was actually the second leg, not the first leg of the set. I think I said first leg before. Second leg of the semi-final against Real Sociedad, 2-2 draw. Frankie de Jong, a couple more goals from playing in that Mazzala position. That might be a role we use him in a little bit more often going forward. We are through to a final against Real Madrid, but of course the priority is the league. We now face Valencia, and this is the team we're putting out there. Look at how quickly these fixtures are coming, by the way, as well. We are playing so much football since the 1st of January. Bearing in mind, it's the 7th of March. Since the 1st of January, we've played, what was that? 8, 12, 4. We've played, this is our 15th match in just over 2 months. No wonder, I'm rotating as much as I can, but goodness me. So we're going with Simon in goal, a back four of Balde, Lazarov, Brandenberger and Kunde, Agostini at the base of the midfield, which is kind of his spot now. La Cruz and Pedri ahead of him, Zaballos on the left, Osmani on the right, Aspas up front. If we can pick up another win here, you know what that means, boys and girls. We are so close to a first league title if we can win this match. I think we do still have to play Real Madrid again. I'll have to double check. Yeah, even with playing them, if we're so far ahead, it doesn't matter what happens in that match when we get to it. That would be the ideal, really. And we could still do a domestic double here. Of course, we've got that Copa del Rey final as well. So as well. I mean, that's some good language right there, Kev. I don't care. I got to keep emphasizing, don't care at all about the Copa del Rey. But obviously winning La Liga would be a big deal. So as it stands, we're 1 point ahead of Valencia, but we have 3 games in hand on them, and our goal difference is more than double theirs. A win here would be massive. Villarreal, who we, of course, beat in the last match, we've still got a game in hand over and a 5-point gap on them. And Real Madrid, I think we're 9 points ahead of I don't know that we've got a game in hand on them. We'll have a look at the league table again in a moment. But we just want to keep winning. Just keep winning, and we will win the league, and then we will go and manage somewhere else. Balde looking for the cross, but this time it hits an opposition defender, and rather than flinging off into the back of the net, ends up safely in the hands of their goalkeeper. It remains 0-0 as we hit the halfway point of this first half. It's Valencia with the goal kick, lumping it forward. It's just occurred to me, this is basically the exact fixture that I went to watch on almost the same date that I went to watch it. 7th of March in game, Barcelona at home against Valencia. I think I watched Barcelona at home against Valencia on something like the 4th or the 5th of March. Obviously 10 years earlier, but still, we've gone 1-0 up. It's Aspas who scored, and that is huge. Osmani doing great work again on this right-hand side, just turning fullbacks inside and out. That's his job out there. And Aspas, who seems to have hit better form than Sakuna at the moment, which is why it's so handy that we've got 2 very good strikers who can basically be used interchangeably. And Aspas certainly showing his worth there. And now Pedri in midfield, running forward, plays into the path of Zaballos. It was a beautifully weighted pass from Pedri, and Zaballos is in, and it's 2-0. And we are edging ever closer to a La Liga win. It will be Barcelona's first league title in 5 years. My first in the entire save, despite already having 2 Champions League wins. It will be a big moment. What a perfectly weighted pass that was from Pedri. That is, we've talked a lot about de Jong playing in this role, but Pedri playing there, that is the kind of passing you just don't get from normal players. Agostini now, I don't really know what he's done there. We tried the short pervert corner, and if it leads to a goal, I'm a genius. It doesn't. Agostini not quite as good in that de Jong position there, receiving the short corners. Probably need to just turn the short corners off. So Real Madrid, we're 9 points ahead of, no game in hand. But this would put us 4 points ahead of Valencia with 3 games in hand on them. It is all looking very good. We are dominating this league in the same way as Real Madrid dominated it last year. I don't know if we're on course for a similar kind of points total to them. We've only lost 1 game so far, which is pretty impressive stuff. And it just confuses me. I thought that was in my head for a minute there. We hadn't changed ends, and that was my goalkeeper giving it to their striker. That's not what happened. You saw what happened, and you didn't panic the way I did because you understood what was going on. I don't even remember what I was talking about. Now, there you go. We have seen it happen. I was seeing the future. And luckily, they absolutely wrecked their opportunity, and the ball ends up going flying over when they had a very good chance there. But it was Balde, I think, who's given that away. And now Koundé on the right-hand side, and Osmani. A rare incident of Osmani giving the ball away there, but Agostini once again showing why he is our new permanent defensive midfielder at this point, just intercepting beautifully. And he's just so strong defensively and still has, he's not got the De Jong or the Pedri passing range. He doesn't necessarily need it. He keeps things ticking over nicely. He's tidy with his passing, as you've just seen there. And he will get better. He's still very young, but defensively, he's so much stronger in this role than anyone else we've got at the club. And it makes such a big difference when it comes to our defensive stability. And Aspas is in here. It's a very heavy first touch from him, but it doesn't matter because he's taken it away from the defender. The goalkeeper probably should have come for that. For a moment there, it was closer to the goalkeeper than it was to Aspas, but a little bit of hesitation from him. And he fires it in from a tight angle for his second goal of the game. And this is why you build a squad. Our brilliant striker, Sakuna, who we thought was going to be untouchable forever. I thought we would rarely ever use Aspas from now, and drops out of form temporarily, and we can just slot this guy straight in, and he's in scoring goals as well. He's well into double figures for the season, and it's only March. We're actually doing rotation here, folks. If you've been around on the channel for a few years, you'll appreciate how much I've grown. I never used to be able to do rotation. We are much better at it now, and that was a lovely finish from Aspas. Let's take Zaballos off. We can get one of the youngsters on here. Ngiamba hasn't had the opportunity to play a lot of football. Watt is looking for more game time as well, but Agostini is injured, so we'll bring De Jong on for him, and we're right back to normality. And then let's make a final change. I think we are going to look to get Watt on here. So John Watt can come on the other side, and Ngiamba on the left, Watt on the right. We've got the two youngsters on. We're 3-0 up. It's been very comfortable again. I just hope that that Agostini doesn't join this growing midfield injury list that we've got. We've already lost Gavi and Temel, I think, is the other one who's injured. Is Temel on the bench? It's Temel so Gavi and Temel both already injured for the next month or so. If we lose Agostini as well, we are starting to get down to the bare bones in central midfield, and all this lovely rotation I was talking about starts to become harder and harder to do. Although Watt can play central midfield, which, he's not done a great job on the right-hand side there, as he almost led to us conceding a goal. Maybe he'd be better off in central midfield. And, of course, we can stick De Jong straight back in at the base of the midfield, even though he was just at 34, 35 years old, reinventing himself as a Mezzala, because why not? But we have picked up another victory there. That is 2 hugely important matches for us. And as you can see, that league table is starting to look really rather handsome as far as we're concerned. Right, our plan from here, we're not going to dwell too much on the rest of the season because we are so far ahead. I think we'll come back for the Real Madrid Copa del Rey final, and we don't play them again in the league. So Real Madrid Copa del Rey final. We'll probably play Atletico as well in that episode, and we'll see where we are from there. We might even be able to wrap the league up in that episode and start planning for whatever is the next step of our journey. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos, and thank you very much for watching.